Hey guys, this is Luke from International TEFL Academy here in Costa Rica, and I just want to make this video here to help you guys get some information for those of you that are looking to teach English abroad, and specifically those of you who are looking to teach English here in Costa Rica and get TEFL certified with our course here in Costa Rica. I'm going to be basically dealing with a lot of the questions that I get from people who call me and are interested in getting information. And so this is not instead of a phone call. I still highly recommend that you and I chat. In fact, you and I need to chat before I can allow you to enroll in the course, just to make sure that I'm confident that you have all the information that you need. But this is a good way to get some information before you and I chat on the phone. Some of the things that we'll be talking about we'll give you a general overview of the course, including schedules, and also including what you'll be learning in the course, why it's important to take this course. We'll also be talking about accommodations, the places that you can stay during the course, specifically homestays. We'll also be talking about your practicum teaching and why that's so important that you practice in front of real Costa Rican students. Then we'll talk about things after the course. The most important thing are jobs. So we'll talk about how you find work here in Costa Rica, how easy it is to find work. We'll also be talking about accommodations after the course. So once you graduate, you'll be finding your own place. So we'll let you know how to do that. We'll talk about salaries, how much you can expect to make as an English teacher, and where you should be spending that money. And we'll also be talking about visas, what types of visas you'll be working on while you're a teacher here in Costa Rica. Just quickly about me, very quickly. I've been teaching ESL for 20 years now in 4 different countries, including 17 years here in Costa Rica. I absolutely love Costa Rica. Obviously, I've chosen this as my place to live. I could live in almost any country in the world, and I've chosen Costa Rica for the last 17 years. And that will be really beneficial for you guys in gathering information, because I would highly doubt that there's a question that I can't answer, or at least know how to get the information for you. Okay, so let's jump right in. Let's start talking about the course. So it's a 4-week course, Monday to Friday, and it's an intense course. So I need to make sure that you guys are aware of that it's not, come down to Costa Rica, beautiful, relax, go to school for a couple hours. No, it's an intense 4 weeks. We got a lot to cover. We have to get you from where you don't know very much, if anything, about teaching English. And in only 4 weeks, we got to get you ready so that you're able to be hired by professional schools. So there's not a lot of time for farting around. We got to really work hard. It's nothing you guys can't handle. However, if you come down thinking it's just going to be a wishy-washy course, it's a big shock. It's a schedule similar to you've done in university. It's nothing you guys can't handle. And it's only 4 weeks. And then you have a certificate that's good for the rest of your life, and you can travel all over the world with it. So it's really worth it. Just put your nose down and work hard. Don't procrastinate. Stay on top of things, and you'll be through it before you know it. It's 4 weeks, and not only you'll be through it, but you'll enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. You'll meet some fantastic people, and you'll work together with those people. So just don't think that it's going to be a few hours a day, nice, easy, then the rest of the day I sit in a hammock. Just come down prepared, and you'll have a great time and get your certificate. So we start in the mornings. Depends on the day, but usually around 9 a.m. in the morning. And then you're in class until 2 or 3 p.m. And then you will either be working on your homework tasks, or you will be lesson planning, getting ready for your classes, or you'll be actually teaching your practicum teaching. You'll be teaching 6 times during this course, Those classes that you're teaching will be with real Costa Rican students. It's not like your classmates pretending that they don't know English. It's actual Costa Rican, so that's extremely valuable, absolutely realistic. And you'll have an experienced teacher in the back of the room who will be watching you. And then after you finish teaching, you'll have a feedback session with them. And they'll go through the things that you need to work on, things that you did well, give you tips, and you'll see the progress throughout the course from your first couple of classes where you're nervous, where you're not quite sure, where you're kind of just getting through it, and then you get through it. And then by your fourth, fifth, and then definitely by your sixth class, you're confident, you're sure of your skills, and now you're just kind of fine tuning them and getting ready when you start doing this every day as a full-time teacher. So for accommodations during the course, you have two options. You can find your own accommodation using Airbnb is usually the most common, or you can stay with a homestay family that we've set up for you. I highly recommend the homestay option. It's cheaper because the food is included with your price. So it's about the same price as getting an Airbnb for a month. But the Airbnb, obviously, you have to buy your own food, then you have to go home and cook your own food, and then you have to clean up the dishes and all that. So having someone do all that for you for a cheaper price than doing it all on your own, it's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion. And it really allows you to focus on the course instead of having to do all that
Julio,
extra
thumbs
work,
up.
dishes, cooking, all of that. Someone else is doing it for you so you can focus on your tasks and your lesson planning and your studying. Getting immersed in the culture. You're not going to, a hotel room or some tourist place or an Airbnb. You're going to a real Costa Rican situation, and it's life in the house. There's kids if you want to be in one with kids. There might be other students from your course if you want to go that route also. And you can practice your Spanish also because the Costa Rican mothers that will be taking care of you, very limited Spanish, or sorry, English, if anything. So you are forced to get in there and practice your Spanish. Don't worry if you don't speak any Spanish. That's very common. I never spoke any Spanish when I went in my homestay. You adapt, you point, you laugh. Plus, they're used to it. They've been doing this for years and years. They've had multitudes of students coming in every year. So it's a new situation for you. Just like all of this, it's new for you, but it's old hat for us. We know what we're doing. We're going to make all this smooth, including your homestay accommodations. So now let's talk about what you're going to be learning during the class, during the 4 weeks. We can basically put it into three parts. One part, you're going to be learning grammar, a lot of English grammar. Second part, you're going to be learning the methodology and the procedure to how to create lesson plans and how to teach ESL. And then you're also going to get a bunch of activities and learn how not only to create your own activities, but how to find great activities online. So those are the three things that you will be learning in the course. So the first thing we'll be learning about English grammar. And even though you speak English perfectly and you've been doing it your whole life, chances are you don't know very much about how your language is put together and why things work the way they do. So you need to learn that. To learn why you say bigger and not more big. You need to learn why you say if I were you instead of if I am you, etc., etc. There's hundreds of things that you need to learn that your students deserve to have a teacher that knows these things. So grammar is one of the things that you'll learn. The second thing is how to create a lesson plan, how to teach ESL. It sounds like it wouldn't be that hard. Oh, I speak English, then I should be able to teach English. Why do I even need to take this course? It's a common misconception, but it doesn't take someone very long once they enter the course to realize exactly why that doesn't work. Just imagine 10 people in front of you that don't speak any English. You teach them English. Go. right? It's difficult. You have to learn the procedures and the techniques and how to create a specific ESL lesson plan. I studied in university to become a teacher, but that did not prepare me at all to teach ESL. It's a completely different skill set. It's like saying, well, I know how to teach basketball, so then I should also be a good wrestling coach. Well, no, they're two completely different things. So you'll learn the procedure of how to create lesson plans, and then the last thing are ESL activities. And you want to have those for when you start teaching. When you start creating your own lesson plans, you want to have a nice bank of activities that you can use, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you a lot of our good stuff, and then we're going to also show you how to create your own and how to find them online. So that's the basics of during the course. Now let's talk a little bit about your life after the course, teaching here in Costa Rica. The first thing that people are obviously curious about are jobs. What are the chances that after the course I will be able to find a job? And the quick answer to that is 100% so far. So far, none of my grads have been unable to find work here in Costa Rica. I'm sure it's going to happen one time, but it hasn't happened yet. And we've had over 700 people graduate from our course. There's more jobs in Costa Rica than teachers to fill those jobs. That's why it's so easy for us to help you find work. There's schools that are desperate for teachers. They have classes ready to go, students that have paid that are just waiting to start their class, and they can't because there's no teacher. Finding teachers for ESL schools is very competitive for those schools, and that's why you guys are in demand. In fact, you're going to have 5, 8, 10 schools that want you to work for them. And you're going to choose. You'll sit down with the notes that you've taken during the interviews that you've had, and you'll sit down and you'll decide which school works best for you depending on your criteria, or schools, plural. I always enjoyed working at more than one school at the same time. It's more friends, switches things up, so you're not doing the same thing every day. It increases the chances of you getting the hours that you want. And then later on, you can kind of start leaning towards the school that you prefer and getting more hours at that school. So I always enjoyed doing that. But regardless, if you work at one school or multiple schools, the hours are here in Costa Rica. It's the easiest thing that I have to do every month is help my students find work. Now, I will say I don't guarantee, and I don't find work for you. I'm not a placement, and you don't even want that. You don't want me telling you where you're going to work. You want the way that it is, where 5, 10 schools want you to work for them, and then you decide. And like I say, I can't flat out 100% in writing guarantee, but all I can do is tell you that so far, every one of my students that wants to work in Costa Rica is able to find work in Costa Rica. So I doubt you're going to be the first one. Someone will be the first one at some point, but I doubt that's going to be you. So the next most common question I get about life after the course is about accommodations. We talked about accommodations during the course, where 90-95% of our students stay with homestays. Now we'll talk about life after the course. So the most common thing is for you and some of your classmates, you're going to be in a class of, well, we average around 15 students per course. So you're going to be bonding with these people. They're going to become your friends. You're going to do the course. You're going to work hard. You're going to go to the bar. You're going to go to restaurants. You're going to travel. You're going to go hiking. You're going to spend a lot of time with these people, bond, and these people become your hardcore friends. So you'll choose, 1, 2, 3, whatever you want, people from the course, and you will go in and live with them in an apartment or in a house. That allows you to bring the rent down. And it's also a great way of sharing the experience with other like-minded people that you enjoy being with. So that's the general thing that happens. You can also continue staying in a homestay. You might not get the exact homestay that you were staying in because we need that for the next group that's coming in. But we do have a lot of homestays in the Heredia area, and it's very rare that if you want to stay in a homestay that you can't find one. So those are the two options. By far, the most common one though is you get together with your friends that you've met during the course, and you will go online. We'll show you the good websites for you to go on. There's word of mouth. Plus, we have a lot of contacts. We've been running this business for years in this area and in the radio area, so we have lots of people that we know that are available to rent to our students. So you will find a place to stay. There are zero homeless teachers wandering the streets at night looking for a corner of a sidewalk to sleep on. Every one of our graduates finds accommodation. It's actually, ironically, going to be more of a challenge for you to find accommodation than it will be to find a job. The jobs are going to be falling on your lap like fruit. You will find accommodation, but it takes more of an effort on your part than finding jobs. Next topic that people are curious about are work visas and what type of visas you'll be working on here in Costa Rica. So generally, schools are unwilling to get you a work visa. It's too expensive and it's too much of a hassle and it's unnecessary. So schools rarely will do it. So you can pretty much count on the fact that you'll be working on a tourist visa. And there's nothing wrong with that. People have been doing it for years. I did it for 6 years before I got married. And basically that means though that you need to leave Costa Rica every 90 days. So every 3 months you will get on a bus and you'll either go north up to Nicaragua, and there's fantastic places in Nicaragua. Granada is my favorite. Great colonial town right on the lake. Great atmosphere, great food. I love that. I've been there, I don't know, probably about 6 times at least. And there's also Ometepe, which is an island that has 2 volcanoes right on the island. So you can go up to Nicaragua, or another popular choice is going down to Panama. And Panama has some of the most amazing beaches. Bocas del Toro it's a different place. It's just amazing atmosphere in that place. It's you go everywhere by boat. It was just gorgeous. One of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen, if not the most beautiful beach. So to summarize, you're not suffering by going on your visa runs. It's government imposed. You have to travel. You have to explore every 3 months. The government demands you do it. And your schools are cool with it. In fact, they want you to do these. They'll get mad at you if you don't go on your visa runs, because that means you've overstayed your visa and they can get in trouble. So you just go tell your director, say, hey, my 3 months are up. I need 3 days off, and he will get you a sub, or he'll say get your own sub, whatever policy your school has. But you just keep doing that. Every 90 days, you leave Costa Rica for 72 hours, and you do that for as long as you're in Costa Rica. Which brings us to salaries. What type of salary can you expect as a teacher? I've made a detailed video about salaries and how to budget as a teacher. I'll put that link below. So if you want to have a more detailed description, you can watch that video, but I'll just quickly give you some summary of that. You'll probably be making around $900 to $1,000 per month. It's based on $10 an hour. Usually teachers work around 20 to 25 hours per week. So that comes out to about $900 per month. And you can easily live on that if you just if you put it with $300 on rent, $300 goes towards food, and $300 goes towards fun. It's very easy to find rent accommodation for $300. We talked about that earlier in this video, where you'll be living with your friends. So $300 is very easy to find. $300 in food, you won't come close to $300 in food, but it makes easy math. and then $300 in fun. Again, you won't need that, but it's not a bad maybe to overestimate. But that just shows you that $1,900, $900 or $1,000 is very livable here in Costa Rica. A lot of information to cover. That's not all the things that you guys need. That's why the phone call is important, and also that you read the articles and watch some of the videos on our website and our YouTube channel. If you're interested and you want more information and you want to start, taking the next steps, then contact me at this email or reply to the emails or the texts that I've sent you, and we can take the next step. We can go over all this information and more information in detail, answer all your questions, and see if living the pura vida life is the right choice for you.